Yo, what's up, Hoop Head Nation, and welcome to our Warriors Weekly Dubs Talk.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
I'm Aparicio. This is Anthony Tuan Corral, and we're gonna go ahead and talk about, hey, are the Warriors gonna regret trading Jonathan Kuminga? Did you see this game? Did you see this game, man? All right, we're gonna go ahead and talk about that.
I got some thoughts on that.
And then, I wanted to get your thoughts on the trade itself because, we did talk about the trade that Porzingis coming to the Warriors. We know he's a unicorn. He has great, abilities. It's just that his availability is the issue, right? So we're going to get into that. And then I wanted to get your thoughts on, are the Warriors quietly tanking? We haven't seen Curry play in more than a week. And then you're seeing, they're still managing, Al Horford and DeAnthony Melton's minutes, then Kristaps Porzingis, right? He's only played one game, so I just want to get your thoughts on that. So, all right, bro. So let's get into it, man. Let me ask you. So are the Warriors going to regret trading away Jonathan Kuminga?
I think that depends on how you value a player's statistics. I think Kuminga is and always is a threat to score a lot of points. So if you look at that purely on the amount of points he can score, I think that you could see that you would regret that trade. I regret that trade, but not because we traded Kuminga. I regret the fashion in
Oh,
which
you mean
we traded
like
Kuminga.
what led up to it? You're talking about what led up to it?
No, what I'm saying is that for whatever reason, the Warriors organization kept forcing the fact that Kuminga needed to be on this rotation. Kuminga
Yes.
doesn't fit on the Warriors.
Yes.
He never will. He never has. Unless you're going to go in a completely different direction, that was never going to work. And I
Yes.
think that some people in the organization knew that 2 years ago when his value was significantly higher,
Yes.
where maybe we could have got a late first round pick, or maybe another up and coming player, or maybe we could have traded for one of the various trades that was done a couple of years ago. So to
Right.
me, the regret will come in what we got. Right.
Yep.
Because here's the thing. I don't want to run both of those two things together, but let's say Porzingis doesn't play at all. Let's just say,
Yeah.
okay, he's sick, doesn't play. 30 million at the end of the year, walks away. We got nothing to show for Kuminga. Nothing. It's gone.
Correct.
Okay. Now,
Well, we do have a 30-ish million expiring contract that could be traded for something of equal value. It depends on what we get back.
well, I
Potentially.
believe Porzingis' contract is done at the end of this year.
Yeah.
He's a free agent, so we'd have to sign and trade him in order to
Yes.
get that value back. So
Yes,
I'm
correct.
going to assume that he wouldn't do that with us based on the fact that he's been with us. So that's option number one. Option number two is he does play the majority of the games, which you've already started on the wrong foot, but he does play the majority of the game and he shows promise, and we do fairly well this season. So we decide to pay him, what, 25 million, 24 million
Right.
for what? For 3 or 4 years. And then we got a guy that isn't available for the majority of the time for the next 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I don't think we can win with this guy. I mean, win meaning I don't think we get a winning solution. If the guy's healthy, if the guy plays, I
Yes.
think it's a fabulous trade. He's a much better player than Kuminga.
Yes.
He fits in the system much better than Kuminga.
Yes. He's a fit.
Yeah, he's a fit. But I just don't think that. I think the regret's going to come in what we got back.
Okay. But when we talked about this trade when it happened, the first thing I said to you, bro, I don't know if you remember this. I said that Kuminga was going to flourish there, man.
Yeah.
I said that.
Yes.
And the reason why is that there are a bunch of athletes on that team, man. And, they're not, that team isn't about floor spacing. That team is about, a free flowing kind of maybe run and gunnish kind of offense. They have Jalen Johnson. And I think, by the way, just to let you know, I think Kuminga benefited from Jalen Johnson's absence because he got injured in that game. And because of that I'm going to go ahead and turn off my phone here. But because of that, that's the reason why Jonathan Kuminga got his minutes, is because Jalen Johnson, got hurt. So
I would say, though, that this particular game isn't a barometer on how good Kuminga is going to do, because I watched the highlights and there was no defense being played anyway.
Oh yeah, I know.
I mean, out of his 27 points, 10
Yeah.
with dunks,
Yeah.
and he'll aim 3-pointers. But he's had game like that with the Warriors where he heats up from the 3-point line, and then he'll have a game where he doesn't, and so on and so forth. So in terms of like this particular game, I'm like, okay. I mean, dude, every
Oh, but that was the talk of the you're there, bro. We lost you again, man. Go ahead.
I'm back. I'm
All right,
back.
good, good.
Yeah, no. What I was saying is, when I see all those dunks in the open court, there's no question Kuminga can do that. I want to see him. What's he going to do when there's a good defense? And he's got to create his own shot, or the lane isn't wide open. Then that's where I want to see what he does with this team.
With this team, yeah, because
team.
he had a lot more space to operate when he played on the Warriors. But he actually had probably his best games last year in the playoff series against Minnesota when Steph Curry got hurt.
Yes.
That's when his value was pretty much high at that time, right? And then the Warriors decided to not, and then he played in the beginning of the season, actually played very well, and then he got out of the rotation again. So, but dude, dude, it's ridiculous.
Oh, I know.
So he scored 27 points. He was 9 of 12 shooting, including 3 of 4 out of 3 points. 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals with a plus 16 plus minus. And then he was the 5th highest fantasy point getter yesterday at 45.4 points.
Yeah.
At a price of $3,900, bro. Isn't that crazy?
Did you put money on him, Eddie? Did you play him yesterday?
I didn't. I was really thinking about playing him because I heard. I saw the news that he's gonna make his debut. Then I'm thinking, is he really gonna play though? Because I wasn't sure, and I should have done it. I regret it, but it was a bad night for me anyway. That wouldn't have mattered because I just had a bad. Although tonight I'm doing decent. So, but anyway, that was an interesting line that he had, and of course, it was the talk all day today on the local
radio. Yep.
Radio, right?
Yeah.
Calling in. I knew it. I knew we're gonna regret this.
Yeah.
And then,
I'm not. I mean, I think their next game is against the Wizards again. I believe.
Yes.
So
yes.
I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a similar stat line.
Yes.
But again, that's not the team I want to see.
I hear you.
That's
but, I gotta say though, bro, I was pulling for the kid because I liked his tantalizing athleticism for one.
Yeah.
He definitely showed glimpses. He wasn't consistent, right? For a lot of reasons, but he was something that the Warriors lacked, and they needed something like that. And of course, he just wasn't. He was in the doghouse all the time. But I'm seeing him going to another team, and just seeing his reaction after the game. He's really happy, bro. He's just you could just see the big weight, almost kind of weight off his shoulders.
Yeah.
I'm happy for. He's only 23 years old. 23.
No, I hear you.
And he's he's been in the league for what? Is this his 4th year or 5th year? I mean, that's amazing that he's 23 still. He has a long way to come back. And, there have been late bloomers in this league, that have done well after a period of time.
Yeah.
He's one of these guys who learned from a very good system, probably didn't want to apply it because he was, he felt his way was better than what the coach was teaching him. And now he has a chance to kind of, in his mind, showcase what he's really made of and take some of the things that he learned in the Warriors system and kind of help the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, see, if he starts to do that, that's where I'll get pissed.
Yeah, but I think that's what's going to happen, man. That's
I think you have more faith in him than I don't have that much faith in him. I think he will be a dynamic player.
Yes.
I'm thinking Harold Miner. That's what I'm thinking of, like Harold Miner. Like exciting to watch, but like everything else is just not there. And I still have yet to see him play the game as though he understands how to leverage things within the game. What he does now is he uses his athleticism to leverage.
Yes.
So what I'd like to see is use the court, use the players, use, the things, do the right play at the right time, not just because you can jump out of the building. And that part, I don't know if he's still in tune with that. I would be pissed if I see him start to rebound, give assists. If I start seeing his rebound numbers shoot up where he's averaging 10, 11 rebounds a game, I'm going to go 8. because I'm gonna be like, why didn't you just do that with us, dude? Like that's
'Cause
all that was being asked of you, and you fought tooth and nail not to freaking do it.
I think he's just one of these personality types that's stubborn and, an emotional guy. And he probably had it in his head saying, you know what? Screw this. I'm going to go ahead and just, go ahead and, show why I should have been playing and apply all the things that you told me to do. And I'm going to take it elsewhere so I can make you guys look bad for not playing me.
Okay,
That's
well,
what I think he's doing.
we'll see. We'll see.
We shall see.
I mean,
We shall see.
let me ask you this, Eddie. I'll ask you this. Who do you think was the better potential, Jordan Poole or Jonathan Kuminga?
Better potential.
Yes.
From what we saw at the time,
Yeah.
Jordan Poole was tantalizing as hell. And the
Well, you
reason
thought he
why
was the next coming of Curry, right? You thought he was.
he was on a better trajectory than Curry.
Yes.
He was.
Yes, he was.
He was on a trajectory in his career doing what Curry started doing maybe in his 4th or 5th year.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was doing it in year 2 and 3.
Correct.
And doing it at a clip where he really helped that team win a championship.
Correct.
So and he was very confident. And unfortunately, that incident happened with Draymond Green, and that knocked the basketball out of him, unfortunately, man.
But
it's not the same. But to answer your question, I would say Jordan Poole.
Correct.
I would say Jordan Poole because of what he did. But Kuminga is tantalizing as hell because of his athleticism, and that's something the Warriors never really had. The only guy that I would say that and since we've been watching the Warriors, I can't think of anybody that was that athletic during the whole time that we've been watching the Warriors.
Carlos Rogers, dude. What are you talking about?
Not even close. This guy was way. This guy was way.
I hear you, Eddie. But our championship medal, wasn't built off athleticism.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's my point. Is that something like this was so tantalizing.
Yeah, no, he is.
Absolutely.
He is very. You look at him, and when he's dunking, and his eyes are even with the rim, and you're like, "Holy crap, this kid!"
Yeah.
And I agree, dude. But it's sometimes I look at him like the Snickers bar. It tastes great, but it's all calories. You're not gonna get anything out of that. And sometimes he's just high calories. Like, look at him, it's just a lot of calories.
The one thing that I would say the one thing that I think would really, really help his game more than anything, this other stuff he can, the defense, he showed it in spurts, right? He was a good on-ball defender, help defender. You would think he would learn more from probably the best help defender this league has ever seen in Draymond Green.
You would think.
But I think he was already kind of mentally checking out, right? But the one thing that I think that would help this guy the most is developing his handles. If he developed his handles, this guy would be a freak. Unbelievable. Like Wembanyama dribbles better than freaking Kuminga right now.
He does.
Right? And he's 7'4", but he worked at it. Whereas Kuminga easily could have been working on that. And that's where I think he's gonna his game will go to another level if he got that down.
Well,
so because he has the athleticism more, he's more athletic than Giannis. He's more athletic than Giannis, and Giannis is athletic as hell.
I'm not arguing with that. I could see what you're saying. That
yes. So that's my point. It's like he's got a tantalizing skill set from an athletic standpoint that another coach, maybe Quinn Snyder, will unlock and unleash him. We'll find out. But I just feel to the core, the Warriors have yet to really regret somebody leaving.
Correct. Correct. And I don't.
They're going to regret. This is.
I don't think they will.
By the way, I'm talking about this Warriors tenure.
Correct.
Not
correct.
The
and I don't think they will regret. I don't think they'll regret trading Kuminga. I regret it just because we didn't get anything out of it. Yeah, that's my regret. Like we could have got so much more for him than what we got.
Can you imagine what I'm sure Lacob was texting Kerr?
Oh, I'm sure.
Everybody last night. Are you guys seeing it? Why couldn't we unleash it? Can you? I can just see Lacob just going.
See that right there pisses me off. Number one, you're playing against a team that is not playing any defense.
I know, but
number two,
I'm just telling his personality.
I know, but like for me, like if you were playing the Pistons or you were playing the Celtics or you were playing and you're and you're scoring 27 points by low posting, taking it to trouble, cutting, dribbling around other, then that's a whole different conversation. I'm watching him, and he's by himself. I don't even see a Pelican. It's like, is this an all-star game? Like, and again, I'm not hating on the kid, but I know he can do that. Go get in the dunk contest, dude, because you're fantastic. I will not argue. But when somebody says to me, look at what, bro? Nobody's guarding him. That's not when it counts. It counts when he's being beat up. When you got someone that's on you, and is stopping you from dribbling. And now what do you do? Show me your dribbles. Show me that you could pass it out and slash and catch it back, or, do back door, like a bunch of different things that you can try to do when you're going on the court. And like for me, last night wasn't it. Last night was just an all-star show. And kudos to Atlanta, because if they planned it this way, they planned it against the right team at the right time. Like, ta-da, here's
exactly. Made it even worse.
Any easier.
And what made things worse is that the Warriors were also playing last night.
Correct.
And they played against the Pelicans team, who's one of the worst teams in the league, and they lost to the Pelicans. So that was piling up on the Warriors big time. A guy that they just traded for, who just had the night of his life, and then they couldn't beat a team that they were better than, record-wise, although they have all the players. Right?
Last night, I would argue they weren't better than the Pelicans in any way, shape, or form, other than the current record. Like, because they got DeJounte Murray back.
DeJounte Murray back,
Zion was playing. I mean, Herb Jones, Trey. Like, dude, they got a good team. Why they can't win is beyond me. So them losing yesterday, I didn't look at that as like they should have won. I looked at that as like, this is a good barometer for that.
It was definitely a winnable game. They just got into a big hole early. They just
and again, all those turnovers. Draymond's on the court. Like, I don't want to keep harping on that, but they played tonight without Draymond.
And then look what happened, right?
And I'm not saying he's directly attributed, but he definitely gives the vibe where you're a little more loose with the ball, and I think they're just a much more secure team when he's not on the court.
Well, supposedly, Kerr's had the conversation with Draymond Green that he's going to. This is something you had been talking about weeks ago, that the Warriors should really consider and think hard about bringing Draymond Green off the bench. Or maybe have him play less minutes, and apparently this is already in play. This is a conversation that's already taken place, and now you're seeing the Young Bucks. And we've talked about this. The question I have here, are the Warriors quietly tanking? All right, tanking it might be too late for them to tank, but they are relegated. They have relegated themselves to be a play-in team right now, and they can climb the ranks to go to the 6th seed, but they need, Curry to be playing. They need Kristaps Porzingis to be playing. They need Al Horford. They need DeAnthony Melton. All these guys, and then the Young Bucks playing more consistently like they have been. And Brandin Podziemski has been playing a lot better lately, man. A lot better. He won the game against the Nuggets the other night when they kind of went on a 17-0 spurt to win that game. Nikola Jokic, you had like a ridiculous triple-double. So Brandin Podziemski has been playing. Keith Santos has been a revelation, bro. Revelation. That dude is playing out of his mind, and he's so energetic, dude. That's what I love about that guy. And DeAnthony Melton is playing like DeAnthony Melton again. Right? So I think. So let me ask you: are they tanking? Are they tanking, or are they quietly just?
No, I don't think they're tanking at all. I think that Kerr is
managing the schedule.
Let's say what we got. Let's see what we got.
Yeah.
Let's see. Like, I think the belief inside the Warriors locker room is that those players that you just mentioned, Spencer, Pods, I'm not sure where he ranks, so I'll leave him out of it. But like Moses Moody, Win Post, all of those guys, I think the Warriors look at them and go, okay, we know what we have. We know what they are. And they're complementary players to when Curry is on the court.
Yeah.
Right. And so if Curry is hurt, we're screwed. Basically, that's the whole premise.
Yeah.
I think what Kerr is trying to do now is seeing if there's any signs of life beyond can these guys win a game on their own? Can they create shots on their own? Can they, do they have pride? And, one of the things that I've loved about this particular group that they've exhibited now 2 or 3 times is when the third to fourth quarter starts, dude, their defense goes up like
Big
level
time.
1,000, dude. Like
Big
it
time.
is crazy intense, right? You got like Peyton in there, you got Melton in there, you got Gee in there, you got Spencer or Pods, dude. They're just annoying as hell, dude. They're like everywhere, and
No,
so
I know.
to me, that is a powerful revelation,
Yes.
right? Because now you take that group and you tell them, maybe, hey, at the end of this first half, attack. Hey, in the beginning of the fourth quarter, attack. And
Yes.
now you got this thing that's going on that's disrupted force. And then maybe you bring in Curry after, and now let's just score and beat them on the offensive end. So I think that at least that's been a revelation. Quentin Post, I don't know what he is yet. Will
Richards.
Will Richards, yeah. I'm not sure what he is yet. They seem like their potential. Moody has been doing more than that. He's been being a better player.
Yes.
What I want to see though is can he continue to? I don't want him to shy away when Curry comes back. Like I feel that Curry comes back and then giving him the ball, and that's what and I mentioned this I think last week or the week before. The next step for this team is, hey, Curry, even though we all know you're the best player on this team, we got to act like you're not the best player on this team. You got to play as though you're just another piece.
Yes.
And then that's when things will start to head in a different direction. Can they do that? I don't know. I don't want them to shrink.
But does the coaching staff have enough confidence in this team to do that? That's the question.
Yes,
really.
That is the question. That is the question.
But yeah, but you pointed this out last week that the Warriors definitely are not relying on that one, Superman to always, win it for them or take them out of the doldrums. They without him, they have become more of a, ball motion offense, and whoever's open, that's who's going to take the shot, and they're not trying to funnel every shot to Superman and Curry, right? Or Butler. It's now a true team, game right now, or a true team movement, ball movement to try and get the best shot possible. And their defense has shot up big time, and that's a very encouraging sign. And that showed a lot in that Denver game. They were pestering Jokic big time.
Yes, they were.
They were pestering him, man. And Jokic had a freaking unbelievable game, right?
Yeah.
But
had I think it was a 30-point triple-double.
He had a 30-point triple-double. The guy's ridiculous, man. He is so freaking good.
He's the best player in the league.
But he was like totally trying.
Yeah, but he's starting to get caught. He can see people in his rear view now, right?
Yeah.
I would say he couldn't really even see anyone in his rear view. Now he can see the cars coming.
Yeah.
And to your point, this we'll call them, plucky Warriors. This plucky Warriors team beat the Suns, beat the Nuggets. They lost to the Pelicans, but the Pelicans are a little bit of an anomaly.
Yeah.
They should be better than they are. Right now, at least I'm starting to gain confidence that there's a certain level of teams that these guys should beat. They should beat the Jazz. They should beat the Grizzlies.
Which they did tonight. And they had 8 players in double figures tonight. That's incredible.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That illustrates what I'm talking about. Like the ball movement, or you brought it up, and just what I brought up just now is that the ball movement creates this kind of opportunity for multiple guys to score, right? And not rely on just one guy to help to win the game for them all the time. So
exactly. And that is where Kuminga didn't fit.
Yeah.
When Kuminga plays, it's him and then everybody else.
Yeah.
He's not one of the guys. He doesn't play like one of the guys. Right. And that's the part where it just doesn't fit. Now, whether this group is good enough to make damage, I don't know, but that's the way we've always played. That's the offense that won us 4 championships.
Yeah.
That's the offense that's gotten us where we're at. And as long as Curry's on this team, there's no reason to change it.
I think right now the Warriors, and I pointed this out, they, last podcast, is that they are trying to figure out their rotation in the play-in tournament. Hopefully maybe the playoffs as well. But the other piece is that they're trying to identify, of the young bucks, who is worth keeping and who is worth trading. And and they're maximizing a lot of these players' value right now because they're getting a lot of floor time right now, a lot of playing time. So they're getting a good sample size to be able to showcase to other GMs because, there's been a lot of rumors that the Warriors are definitely very, very interested in Giannis still, but there's also a link to Kawhi Leonard. Okay, because Kawhi Leonard, you heard about this, his contract might be avoided,
Yeah.
because the Clippers and Steve Ballmer, they had Kawhi Leonard be essentially a sponsor, or he was kind of like a sponsor for a company, that the name of the company is Aspiration. Aspiration. It's a tree planting company that was supposed to help offset the carbon footprint, right? But the thing is that Kawhi Leonard got 28 million for being, essentially the quote unquote spokesperson, quote unquote sponsor, right? He's the guy.
Well, first of all, Kawhi Leonard being a spokesperson.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
That's like, what? That guy? Anyway, but yeah. Anyway, but he's a hell of a player, bro. Hell of a player.
Absolutely.
And you saw it in the All-Star game. He had 31 points in 12 minutes. Yeah,
Yep.
almost kind of, Clay-like, with Clay
Yep.
had 37 points in one quarter. But so what I want, that I think that's the other thing that's kind of playing out is that the Warriors are trying to figure out who they're gonna, kind of package up along with some of their, their picks, to maybe land somebody like a Kawhi Leonard or Giannis or somebody else, right? So, but the question I want to ask you on this: who is the better fit for the Warriors between Giannis and Kawhi Leonard?
So systematic fit.
Just who's the better fit? Period. Like
Well,
with Jimmy Butler, with
yeah.
Kristaps
So
Porzingis, if he's still on the team, with Draymond Green, assuming he's not traded, and along with Steph Curry, DeAnthony Melton, and others. Who's the better fit?
so I'd have to go with Giannis for a couple of reasons. So if we're going just straight fit, it's probably Kawhi.
It is. That's what I would say. I say Kawhi is the better.
But there's some variables here. Number one, we need size.
Yeah.
Kawhi doesn't help us. Number two, we need shot blocking. Kawhi doesn't really help us there.
Yes.
Number three, we need chemistry. Kawhi doesn't help us there. Right. Number four, we need consistent playing time. Kawhi doesn't help. When you start, but if you're talking just straight ability, I think Kawhi would be, him and Curry in a backcourt would be insane. Right. But there's too many other, like, dude, I'll tell you right now, Eddie, I would not be happy if they signed Kawhi.
I honestly would be.
He's not going to play, dude. We're going to have the great missing.
Yeah.
Because
the
we're going to have people that don't play.
The all-time load management team.
Yeah, no,
right?
dude. Yeah, we will not. We'll play with the hopes of getting the 10th seed just so that everyone will play. But Kawhi's missed playoff games. Kawhi's missed.
Yeah.
Like, he just won't. When he doesn't want to play, that dude doesn't play.
Yeah,
So
he has been playing a lot
happy.
recently, though, bro. He's been playing a lot recently. And what's interesting is that, so just to give you an idea, I gave you this idea about FanDuel, right? How they kind of they price players based on how well they provide statistical outputs.
Yep.
Kawhi Leonard is almost at $11,000.
Yeah.
Okay. The most expensive guy is Jokic. He's like at 12,600.
Yep.
Kawhi Leonard's at 11,000. That's not that far from Jokic.
No, it's not.
That gives you an idea of how well this guy's playing.
No, I agree. And if Porzingis put 4 games together, he'd be close to 10,000, and then he'd miss the next month.
Yeah, but Porzingis is right now, because he's not playing, he's roughly about $5,500, right around there.
Correct.
When at his peak, when he was playing really, really well, he was probably around $8,000, $9,000. Just so you know, just to give you an idea.
Yeah.
And that's always a good barometer to kind of give you an idea how well a player accumulates stats and does things on the court, right?
Yeah.
So I would personally think, and I like Giannis and I love Kawhi. Both those guys I like a lot. I just think Kawhi Leonard, if he stays healthy, is the better fit for the team. But Giannis is definitely the overall better player. And I will tell you that if the Warriors had a choice between those two, it would definitely be Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you
Maybe
something. Yeah, I'll tell you something right now, Eddie. I hope they get neither. I think it's a mistake. They're not going to do anything with either one of those players.
so. Okay, so let me ask you. So Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Giannis.
Yeah, I don't think they win a championship.
They would
Yeah,
be.
no,
a lot-
I
they
don't
would
think.
be. They would be a lot closer.
First of all, because Draymond would have to be gone.
Maybe, but he might be.
No, I'm saying you can't. You can't.
Oh.
You financially, you can't keep Draymond and bring on Giannis.
Yeah.
You can't. So Draymond or Butler would have to be gone. And in my dream scenario, if you want to call it that, we're not losing Butler, we're losing Draymond. I think he's
No,
so
I agree.
Draymond would be gone. And you're talking, I don't know what the salary cap is next year, but you've got three $50 million a year players. Those three guys,
Yeah.
$150 million.
Oh,
And I
the cap-
believe, I believe the cap is 162, 163 right now. So that gives you $13 million to get, 9 other players.
Yeah.
We're not winning anything, Eddie. We're not winning anything with that lineup. And furthermore, if you did it with Kawhi, you still got the same crappy ass supporting cast.
Yeah.
And Kawhi misses half the season.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's tantalizing as hell to have either one of those guys paired up with Curry, and this is exactly why Lacob wants to explore this. Figure out a way to maybe come up with a similar thing like Steve Ballmer did.
Yep.
Be able to pay these guys under the table without having to go against the salary cap. Man.
Why don't you join Lacob's Foundation for
exactly, man. The tree planting foundation, right? So
exactly.
But anyway, I just think that we talked about it earlier. Having a Giannis on the team definitely increases the valuation.
No, it would be fun to watch. Don't get me wrong. But we're not winning the championship that way.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see, man. I mean, the worst. The good thing is they still have all their picks. They didn't give up really any picks. They gained, I think a second round pick from Toronto for Trace Jackson Davis,
who by the way had also a breakout first game. And I haven't heard Bupkis.
You haven't heard from him since.
Yes,
he hasn't been playing since. Yeah,
right.
But anyway. Yeah. Well, hey, bro, we definitely covered a lot of stuff here, man, and we did it in 33 minutes, which is pretty good.
Awesome.
So this is our weekly Warriors segment. Also tune in to our Walk Around the NBA podcast. We're doing 2 podcasts now per week. So if you like our show, definitely give us a thumbs up. We really appreciate some of the comments that we've been getting as well. I know the one that we talked about, the Bad Bunny halftime show, that got a lot of commentary. I don't know if you saw Guillermo's reply, but I thought it was well received by the guy who actually pointed it out, right? Yeah. But yeah, give us a thumbs up. You can find us at grumblingsmedia.com or wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Eddie Aparicio. This is Anthony Toine Corral. We are also known as the Cisco Kids. And we're taking a week off next week because I'm actually going on vacation. But we'll be coming back on March 11th. So just be on the lookout for some of our content that's coming out this week, namely this podcast and the one that we did for the Walk Around the NBA. And we do shorts too. So just definitely, view all those, and then we'll be back on the 11th. All right, everyone. Until then, have a good rest of the week, and we're signing off.
Hey, everybody. This is William Del Pilar, founder of Grumblings Media, and I want to say thank you for watching our content. If you want to support our all-volunteer efforts at Grumblings Media, smash the subscribe button right here. 100% free, and please consume and share our great content. Click either one of these 2 boxes for more of our work.